Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vice President, Ms. Karen Keller-Suter, Bishop Ivo and Dr. Wedel, Rabbi Schmelzer, ladies and gentlemen, may I say once again what a great pleasure it is to be able to welcome you to this symposium, the 42nd, and to say how honored I feel to be invited to be chairman today. As I came in through the stage door there, the players' entrance, I was greeted by someone I've known for many years here, a journalist by the name of Melanie, who flung her arms around me and said, "The monk St. Gallus." Once again, I felt very much at home. May I say, for those who've never experienced it, the St. Gallen Symposium is something I'm sure you're going to enjoy. It's developed over more than 4 decades, and it's developed into a very distinct brand. The location here in Appenzell, World Heritage Center in the city of St. Gallen, the timing, 3 days in May, the purpose that the leaders of today meet the leaders of tomorrow, so it's intergenerational. It's multidisciplinary. It's like a sort of medieval fair, but a market in the world of ideas with people also who have experience of putting the ideas into practice. And then organizationally, it's run entirely by the students. There are 30 students of the organizing committee who take 9 months off out of their education in order to run this. It's like running a business. And then in the handbook, I added up last night that the crew of students who support them is no less than 358. So it's really a phenomenal effort by the students themselves. The students have designed the program and they chose the subject. And the subject they've chosen is facing risk. And I believe in choosing this subject, they have gone back, returned to the roots of the symposium itself, because the St. Gallen Symposium started as a response to the events of 1968. I well remember it. I was a young member of the faculty at the London School of Economics, and European society was baffled by what took place. In London, we had demonstrations and marches. The London School of Economics was closed for 3 weeks, an extraordinary thing for a liberal institution to close out the students. In Paris, there were riots in the streets, cars were being burned, tear gas was being used to disperse the students, petrol bombs were being thrown. In other European cities, there was unrest. And then in the US, you had the Vietnam War, which was increasing in scale. And somehow, this all has a distinctly contemporary ring to it. The war in Iraq and Afghanistan, the potential for conflict between Iran and Israel, the problems in Europe itself, the economic problems, cuts in public expenditure, belt-tightening by consumers, a seeming inability to solve the problem of sovereign debt. You think you've got it when Greece and Ireland and Portugal have seemingly been fixed, and then mysteriously it moves to Spain and to Italy. Rising unemployment. In Spain, 25% of the workforce unemployed, nearly 50% of young people unemployed. In Britain, we have 1 million unemployed people between the ages of 18 and 24. More than that, I can honestly say in my lifetime, I feel there's a sense of disillusion and unease with our society at the moment, more than I've ever known. Capitalism, or democratic capitalism, always held out 3 promises. It promised prosperity for all, as was never known in human history. It promised through democracy, personal freedom on a remarkable scale. And thirdly, it promised that when everyone could shape their own lives and had a sense of responsibility, that the concept of a free society would develop into some idea of a just society. And that dream, it seems to me at present, is in tatters. Because in place of prosperity, we have austerity, and in terms of freedom, we have phone hacking, the social media, and somehow an intervention, intrusion into people's lives. And instead of the idea of a just society, we have the Occupy Wall Street movement and a sense of inequality. However, we know, and this is the point the students are making to us, we know that if a capitalist economy is to survive, we need entrepreneurs, we need an entrepreneurial society. And the question is, have we become, in the West, so risk-averse that we have threatened, really, the very foundations of what we do? The students are asking us to engage in these coming 2 days of discussion and debate. I'd really ask you to join in and really, go outside of your comfort zone. Be prepared to engage in discussion and say, this is what I believe and this is why I believe it. Question other people's beliefs. And as a result, I'm sure that at the end of it, you will find, as I've found in recent years, that this has been a very exciting 3 days in May. So I wish you well and would want to encourage you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Joseph Ackerman. Joseph Ackerman has been chairman of the management board of Deutsche Bank for a number of years. And before that, he was running the investment bank of Deutsche Bank. He assumes a new responsibility at the beginning of next month as chairman of the board of directors of Zurich Insurance Group. When I asked him jokingly, how should I introduce you? I thought he was going to say, Herr Dr. Professor, because he is a doctor and he teaches at the London School of Economics. However, he told me, no, you should introduce me as Herrischer Dr. Professor. Dr. Ackerman, it's a great pleasure to have worked with you for a number of years in connection with this seminar. You really have done a terrific job as chairman of the foundation here, and it's a great pleasure for me to hand over to you. Thank you.